Hey everyone, in this video we will explain the conditional operator. So it is a shortest form to make conditions instead of if statements. So for example, if A equal to 2 and B equal to 3, and now we can use if statement for example. So now if A is less than B, so now print, for example, the value of A is smaller and then semicolon. We can repeat this line. So here else, so now else print the value of B is smaller. So now if I click run, as you can see 2 is smaller, but if the A equal to 4 for example, so now 3 is smaller. 3 is the value of B, which is 3 is smaller. Now another note, inside this curly braces, if we just type a single line, you can remove it. So here in this situation, the curly braces is not mandatory. So now I can remove it. Also here in the else, we can remove this curly braces. Now there's a shortest form to do this. Simply just type A is less than B and then question mark. So this is a question. You ask the compiler a question. Is A is less than B? The answer is either true or false. The answer is a boolean. So now if this condition is true, now print A is smaller. Else or otherwise, or if this condition is false, this means we should execute the other condition. So we should execute B is smaller. Simply just use the colon and then print the second comment. At the end, semicolon. We can split this line for better viewing. So now if we click run, as you can see 3 is smaller 2 times. We can make this line as a comment. So as you can see, this is the shortest form. Also, for example, if we define another variable, for example smaller num, which means smaller number. So now which is the smaller number? Is it A or B? Now we can ask a question. So A is less than B, then question mark. So if this condition is true, which means the smaller number is A, we can assign the A directly to the smaller number. Otherwise, we can assign B directly and then semicolon. So now this means smaller number equal to either A or B according to this condition. If this condition is true, A is less than B, so he will assign A to the smaller number. Elsewhere, he will assign B to this smaller number. So now simply we can just print the value of smaller number. The answer is supposed to be 3. As you can see, the answer is 3. If we make this 2, you see the answer is 2. Also, for example, if we define variable which is called name, so initially this name is null or empty. So now if we define v1, which is a regular variable equal to name, and then we can print the value of v1 and then semicolon. I'll make this line as a comment and then press run. You can see null. So now sometimes this way lead to a problems because the value of name is null and you assigned a null value to a v1. So we can use the double question mark. Now in this place, if I use double question mark and then for example Hassan, this means that before you assign the value of name to the v1, check if the value is null or not. So if the value of name is equal to null, and then take this alternative value. So this alternative value will assign to the v1 only if this variable contain null or this variable have no value. So now, while the name is equal to null or have no value, he will assign this alternative value. So now v1 equal to Hassan. If we check this, click run, as you can see, equal to Hassan. But if we assign to the name equal to A, for example, now if I click run, as you can see, the result is A. Now this is a warning, not an error. So this is just a hint. Operand of null aware operation, which is double question mark, has a type string which exclude null. The meaning of this message is when you assign this value to the name, he already identify the type of the name, which is string, which cannot be null. So now this part of code is redundant because name can't be null.